stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. Aspire for more.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Welcome to another episode of Journey Toward More, a podcast where we discuss topics to help you manifest more. More of what is for you, more of what you desire, more of what is aligned with who you are, more of what honors you on your journey toward more. I am your host, Dr. Tammy Francis, the catalyst, life strategist, literacy educator, consultant, author, and speaker. And what I wanted to do today, this is the beginning of season two. Season two. This is the first episode for season two, episode 31. And I wanted to share with you some of the things I've been up to during 2020 and when we're in the midst of a pandemic. Right now, we're in the midst of a pandemic and going through that. And I have been busy. I have been busy. I have been utilizing this time of rest, relaxation, time to recharge, time to rediscover some of the things that I have placed on the back burner and shift my focus a little bit. And during this time, I know many people, when there's a crisis, tend to have paralyzing behaviors where they don't want to do or they want to wait. And this is not the time for it. This is the time when you can really do some work and do some things that you haven't been able to do. Whether it's just mindset work and doing some things to put more positivity in, or you're actually executing some of the goals that you are aspiring to accomplish. Because I know during this time, it can be really, especially this pandemic, where it's a health um, crisis and people are dying every day from the coronavirus or COVID 19. And I have decided to utilize this time and space to do some things that I wouldn't normally slow down. And when I say slow down physically for, because I'd be, you know, working and traveling and doing some things um, outside of my home office. And this time I've collaborated on two projects. You can find them on my website, two book projects. Stronger, which is an anthology for women entrepreneurs who are in the middle of this crisis, and strategies, encouragement, inspiration for that. I also collaborated on You Can with 32 other authors because it's 33 stories to uplift and inspire everyday people. And that project I completed this past summer. This is October, the recording of this particular episode. And then I said, I'm working on these projects, these collaborative projects. I really need to get back to mine. So my sister was in the hospital and in a coma and literally died. Um, but she came back. So she's alive and she's doing well now. But during that time, it was really dark for me because my sister is my best friend, my first best friend. And so um, I realized that I really needed to find some inspiration and encouragement because I couldn't nor would she want me to. Just stop and do nothing. So I said, you have this book of quotes you started in October of 2019, and then life got in the way because things got a little crazy in your life, and so you put it down. Go back to it. And I did. And I completed it. Now, let me be very transparent. It's not perfect. And depending on which version you got or the edition you got, it's less perfect. But I knew that if I kept playing with it, revising and editing it, it would never get done. It would just stay on my desk. Because what I know being a reader is that any book you read, you'll find an error or two or three. And it's okay. As long as, you know, you've done some work on it, right? And as long as the message is there, as long as the intent is there. So I went ahead and just published it. I did it. And it is a project that has proven to be useful in so many ways. It is a book of quotes. The title of it is Reap More, 76 Seeds for This Season. And I capitalize the word this for a reason, because I think this is very important in the context that I'm using it, because this season of your life could be something good. It could, and everything and favor is upon you. Or it can be a time when you're struggling. And I know it's a pandemic, so many of us are struggling with different things, whether it's um, illness, loss, despair, frustration, discouragement, self doubt, procrastination, avoidance, fear. All of that is happening right now. And so I knew that whether it was the good, bad, or the ugly, this book would serve its purpose. And I was going to just put the quotes in there. And then I decided, when I wrote the quotes, I always add commentary. And much of it is from my life or how I came up with the quote, and or how it came to me, what inspired it, which may not have been from my life per se, like a personal thing, but something I've seen, like a movie or heard, a song. So I end up putting the commentary in here. Some of it I had to add to, some I just put in here. But this book has the quotes. There's 76 of them, like the title implies. And there's commentary and prompting questions or ideas to get you thinking. And because of the way they were written, I decided to add just a little space at the end of each quote. So each quote takes up 2 pages. So that way you can use it and actually reflect in the book. Like you can just carry the book with you in your briefcase, in your tote bag, in your purse, in, or leave it wherever you find time to read and get inspiration. And so I included that because my books that I create are tools, and I like to think of them as tools. And because they are tools, I want you to be able to use them in order to apply them to your life and apply the words or the strategy to your life. And so this book has the quote, it has the commentary, and it has space to write. At the end, there are a few blank pages as well. So if you have any thoughts or anything extra, there's a few blank pages that I left for you to also use. And I wanted to share one of the ways I use it. So I You can use it as a daily reader. It's 76. So every 76 days you can start it over because you will think of them differently every time you read them. And I've found that every time I've read them, and I've used it in the last 3 months to share with others and for different events. Um, you can read one a week and meditate on it for that week and apply it to your life for that week and adjust your mindset for that week. You can use it um, in so many ways. And recently, I was the keynote speaker at a conference in Texas, College Academic Support Programs, which is acronymed as CAS 2020. It was a virtual conference. I was the keynote speaker, and of course, my other work is equity and access. And so my keynote was on equity and access, grounded in my philosophy of self awareness, purpose. And so, what I also had the opportunity to do and was invited to do was have some informal lunch sessions with faculty and staff from those in higher ed attending the conference. And I read four of the quotes from the book. And so I just wanted to share the readings of those four quotes with you today on today's episode so you can get a sense of my writing, how it's set up, and maybe even consider grabbing a copy. They are available at drtammyfrancis.com, and I'll put it in the show notes at the bottom. And it's also available, all my books, I say they because all my books, they're, they're available on my website, drtammyfrancis.com, like I said, but also on Amazon or any online distributor. So, um, so I wanted to share a little bit of that with you. So here it goes. Um, so um, as I read them, I will commentate. So if I talk about and I'm talking to the audience a little bit, it was virtual, so we were actually in a video software where we could see each other, and so you'll get a little bit of that um, as well. And talk about how we can do that. Like, this is a time during this pandemic when things are a bit gloomy, to say the least, and things are happening at a fast rate. And so many of us, and I say us because not only us, but our students, all of us are experiencing different things in our families. Some are losing jobs, some deaths, some um, illness and loss. And so I thought that this session, I can really explain my work, and because my work is twofold. I am Dr. Tammy, your success strategist and literacy educator. I help you move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next. And that is a lot of my work. And if you follow me on social media, you will see that that is my work. And you're probably wondering, what is she doing next? And it's because I consider myself an edupreneur. I am an educator, but I'm also an entrepreneur. And in that space, I'm able to expand my classroom. My classroom is not just a traditional classroom, but my classroom is the world. And I work with people all over the world in reaching their goals and being successful. And many times it's education that people seek me, whether they're seeking a doctoral degree or they're wanting to go back to school or something like that. And my thing is all about action, execution, and making sure that whatever you're doing, it is related to your purpose. You are living out your purpose with passion. So, so that is what I do, and that is what I'm about. So today I wanted to share. a little bit about um, some of my work in my recent publication. And I wanted to just read from it because that's where my inspiration and encouragement lies. When I forget up here, I've put it in here. And and so I wanted to just do a live reading and share some encouragement, but I wanted to answer your questions. And I wanted to just engage with you, especially if you attended my session this morning and you have questions. I'd love to talk about that because that's also a part of my work, but it's grounded in self awareness. It's grounded in purpose. It's grounded in planning and strategizing and creating a strategy to execute and implement and do those things. So, because of that, and because that is my work, um, I am really um, wanting to share a little more insight into that work and how it looks, because from the outside, it can be a bit confusing and convoluted. But in here, it makes all sense. Now, within myself, it makes all sense. So, so the book that I have recently released is Reap More 76 Seeds for This Season. And what I've compiled is some original quotes. The things I usually say, these little things, these witty things, like somebody texts me, "What did you say?" I'm like, I don't know. I say these things, but I don't necessarily get it unless somebody tweet it out, and I call them tweetables. But I also want there to be work attached to it, like there's action attached to it. And so what I do is ask questions. So in the book, um, this book is really a book of quotes. It's a book of quotes. Hey, Patricia, thank you for turning on your camera. It's a book of quotes, and in there it has some commentary and it has space for reflection because all the things that I create them as tools. So you'll find that there'll be blank space for you to write. And so this one is a book of quotes, but instead of just putting the quotes and putting it together and putting it out there, I actually added some space for writing. So I wanted to share some of those as people are coming in because I know it's at the beginning of the session, and then just read a few of these, and then I'll answer some questions, whether it's about this morning session or about what I'm saying and my philosophy and those things. So I have my notes here because I chose four. I'm trying to keep it short because I only have 30 minutes that I promised. And so I have four that I'd like to share. And so I'm just going to read them. And then I'll ask each one of them have questions or prompting questions or ideas. And so you're welcome to grab a piece of paper. I'd like for you to have a journal. So that's another part of my thing is to have a journal and reflect. And so you may find that it will um, impact your practices the second half of the semester. We're at the midterm for most of us who are teaching 16 weeks. And we're in the middle of a pandemic. Let's just call it what it is, right? And so this book is just a book of quotes and 76 seeds. I think when we plant seeds, we can reap more and bring those things to harvest, that those positive things. And so anyway, so I'm reading from the book, just in case you want to know the number. I know some people have the book. So 34, because I think it's good during this time. And so today, the quotes I've picked, the theme is pretty much purpose is my theme for today. Tomorrow we'll have a different theme and I'll read some different ones. During transition, expect restlessness. Wednesday, October 3rd, 2018 was one of the most difficult days of my life. My granny, affectionately called by her grandchildren, was transitioning. While caring for her during that time, I witnessed the physical restlessness. I began to think about the people, the conscious catalyst, that's my community, I talk with daily, either individually or in groups. My platform is about creating cocoon experiences to provide a safe space for women and men to transition, change, become more self-aware, and to be a better version of themselves. I have witnessed the restless soul personally and in those who choose to level up. What I have realized, it's a part of the process. It's natural. It's okay. So we must trust the process. What change is happening in your life that is causing restlessness? What is pushing you to move out of your comfort zone? Digital learning for me. What are you dealing with that restlessness, that is restless, that is causing the restlessness and discomfort? During transition, expect restlessness. And I think many of us, especially as educators, I know I'm a face to face teacher, and that's what I love. That's what I thrive on because I'm an extrovert. But moving to this online space, I think we knew it, but I think part of me was expecting it to be smooth because I already used Canvas, I already used the LMS, right? And so I was expecting it to be just a few things, but it wasn't because there were things about myself and that teaching environment that I had to adjust. So during transition, that's just an example. Expect restlessness. I'll read 63. Educators develop the powers within. One of my greatest accomplishments has been doing what I love and enjoying it for 19 plus years. Choosing education as a profession was the best decision I made as a young 20 something. I am literally someone's teacher. However, what I know is great teachers are game changers. Those teachers who do not have to exist in a classroom or formal setting. We are all teachers. In living out our purpose with passion, we must not only serve, but teach. We must share what we have learned on our journey with others. Our experiences and lessons empower others. Give others fuel for their journey. And I hope that's what I'm doing today, giving you fuel for your journey. And so the prompting questions for this one: who's your favorite teacher? Which teacher was most influential on you? How? Why? How do you teach? How do you share what you know? How do you empower others with knowledge? Teach, empower, transform. And if you have questions, put them in the chat. And I'm not sure if Lisa or Patricia is looking at the chat. Y'all can always come on mute and tell me my Hoover app has been crashing today. So, all right. And then I'm going to read 29. Stop me at any point. Opposition does not mean you need to detour. Sounds like the time right now. Opposition does not mean you need to detour. When you face opposition in your life, you are being prepared for greater. So don't resist it. Don't go around it. If you are aspiring for more, expect it. Stay the course. Remember your vision. Think about the opposition as a test of how prepared you are and ready to claim what's yours. Face it head on and claim what is yours. 2018 was a year of opposition and resistance for me. However, it is my testimony that if you stay the course, don't falter or waver, continue to do those things that are in alignment with who you are and your vision, there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Y'all, I even have more clarity. My vision for my business, my life, what I do has never been clearer. I'm ready for overflow. Are you experiencing opposition? What is your vision for your life or business? Are you taking a detour? Are you staying the course? And the last one I'll read, and then I'll get into some question and answer and some application of how I use this book or plan to use it and am using it and have used it. So number 26 is the last one that I'll read for today. Bend, don't break. Be like a palm tree. This message kept coming to me over and over. Coincidence? I doubt it. So I thought I'd share this with you too. Bend, don't break. be like a palm tree. Palm trees are typically planted near the coast because of their durability. They are strong, they have deep roots, and are flexible for climates more prone to extremely windy conditions. During a storm, they can bend and not break. We must be like the palm tree when life gets overwhelming or extremely challenging. Don't quit, don't give up. Remain deeply rooted, grounded. Bend, don't break. Are you stretched thin? Are you at your wits' end about something? Are you giving up or putting aside your goals and or dreams to accommodate someone else's or others? Are you always giving and not receiving? Bend, don't break.
When you're feeling stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself, you'll get more. You should aspire for more. Aspire for more. You should aspire for more. You should aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself and get more. You should aspire.